Hello and welcome back to another video, and I have got a confession. So the video that I posted last week was actually recorded maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I think I said in that video that I was down to like 87 or 88 on my cut. I'm now down to 82.9 as of this morning, and things are going fantastically. This is just an update on my current situation, and I wanted to quickly share it before I get into this video, how proud I am of the journey that I'm on. And I want to just use YouTube as a platform to sort of track my journey for my own personal reasons, and also to like show it off to you guys as well, so you can see what's possible as a natural bodybuilder. If you're interested more in the journey, there's the bodybuilding journey series, which is a continuous series on this channel, as well as posts on my socials, which will be linked in the description below. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering the top 3 myths in fitness, in the gym, in nutrition, just in fitness in general. This video is just basically for educational purposes, and hopefully, oh my god, I sound like an idiot when I say that, but hopefully to try and share my knowledge with you guys, sort of see what you think about these myths that I've heard from my friends, and maybe even some of them that you've believed yourself. I know I definitely believed like at least 1 or 2 of these when I first started lifting. So I hope that you guys can learn something, or at least, comment down below on how wrong I was and correct me, and then I can go and fix my things for future. Quick disclaimer, the last myth is insane, so please stick around to see that one. So starting with myth number 1, that is the spot reduction of fat. So imagine you're overweight, right? And you think, oh, I'm going to do some sit-ups because clearly that's going to give me abs. Well, that's wrong to a degree. Now, when you do sit-ups, you do them to grow your abs. They're not just going to magically give you abs. Well, no. It's like bicep curls. You do them to grow your biceps. They're not going to magically just give you biceps. People have a common misconception in the gym that whenever you train, that muscle becomes like more visible, i.e. it turns like the fat into the muscle, which is not a good thing because that doesn't happen. If it did, we would all be jacked and that'd be fantastic. But unfortunately, no, that's not the case. So people have this misconception that as they do sit-ups, it's going to spot reduce their fat on their belly, which is wrong, because you can't just lose fat in one area of your body. You can grow muscles in certain areas of your body, which will make them more visible at a higher percentage of body fat, but you can't just spot reduce fat, unfortunately. I honestly wish you could, but that's myth 1 in the gym. So moving on to myth number 2, fats make you fat and that carbs are bad for you. This is completely untrue, and all the macronutrients are needed in a balanced diet and all work together to make you feel good. Protein is obviously used to build your muscles up, once you train them for strenuous exercise. Carbs actually give you energy, so you can't cut out carbs, like go on a keto diet or something and expect to feel good. Yes, you would probably lose weight from that if you were to eat in a caloric deficit by cutting out the carbs, but it all comes down to calories in versus calories out, and that doesn't matter what sort of macronutrient you're eating. In addition, people seem to have this common misconception that eating fatty foods makes you fat, when in reality it's calories that are found in the fatty foods that make you fat, if you were to eat loads of those, for example. The actual fats themselves, there are 2 different types. There are saturated fats and there are unsaturated fats, but that's a conversation for another day. The fats themselves are used to regulate your hormone production, keep your joints moving properly, stuff like that. They don't necessarily make you fat. And with carbs, like I said, they're just for energy. So people have this common misconception that you have to eat certain types of macronutrients, but as long as you're getting your protein in, if you're trying to build muscle or trying to retain muscle, for that protein powder is perfect. And as long as you're getting enough energy from carbs and you're regulating your hormones enough with fats, that's all you need. And you can have excess of other ones slightly, and that's not going to affect your weight, so long as you're eating at a caloric deficit if you want to lose weight, your maintenance calories if you want to maintain your weight, and then in a slight caloric surplus if you want to gain weight. But moving on to the final myth of today, this one actually had me questioning at the start, because I actually thought that this one was true for about a year. It's that free weights cause more muscle growth than machines. this is actually factually incorrect. And there's been a study that's done on this recently, which has compared two groups of individuals with a control group, and they've seen basically the same amount of growth in muscle mass between the two. Now, I always thought that when you use free weights, because of the stabilization aspect, that would allow it to sort of like boost your muscle growth to some degree. But then on the other hand, you can lock yourself in on a machine and sort of push muscles closer to failure without having to like worry about, I don't know, dropping the weight on yourself or not being able to get it back up and struggling, you know, stuff like that. For example, with bench press, it can be really difficult when it comes to how do you get the weight back up if you fail. People have to not put clips on each side so they can, you know, rotate the bar to get it off, and that's just dangerous, and it can injure yourself and other people if they're stood around. So if you were to have a chest press machine, it might end up being a bit better. But I personally didn't know about that, and that blew my mind when I heard about it, that they actually cause equal amount of muscle growth. So it's completely up to personal preference which one you want to choose. I prefer a combination of both free weights and machines, just because some of them feel better and some of them don't. So it's just mix and match what feels good for you, but don't pick your choice just because you think it's going to cause more muscle growth, because it's just been proven that it doesn't. So to conclude, coming in at number 1, we have on our top 3 myths list the notion that free weights cause more muscle growth than machines, which we've just talked about and how that's not true. Following that, we had about how fats make you fat and carbs are bad for you, which is again another lie. And finally, we had the one at the start, which was about how you can spot reduce fat. Obviously, we talked through that one as well, and that one's false also. So here's my top 3 myths that I've heard in my time in the fitness industry, and they blew my mind when I realized that they weren't real. I know I've heard a lot of these in the past from other people, you know, even I believed a few when I first started, and I'm sure you did too, or at least you've heard them from someone as well. Thank you for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed, learned something, or maybe just, you know, enjoyed me trying to be funny, because I promise I try. But yeah, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I always like to engage with you guys whenever you leave a comment. Please make sure to follow my socials and just keep updated on the journey. Thank you very much guys again, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.